Joe likes Scorsese, and Raanan is Jewy. It's Joe and Raanan talk movies.
Hello.
We're live.
All right, well, let's make sure to do the clap.
Yeah. All right. Well, clap. What does that mean? Make sure to clap. Just clap. Was that good? Was that a good clap?
That was a good. I don't know. You're bringing it up.
It was away from the microphone. I don't know.
Was it away?
Clap in the microphone?
No, I think they'll pick it up, right, Lex? They'll be good, right?
I don't know what the clap is. I never understood the clap. I don't get the clap.
Know. It's you're king of STDs. You should know.
I know.
Oh boy.
Boy, I'm dressed like a bum. You're dressed in your best outfit you've ever had.
Was this always a thing with the wire on my lap?
Yeah, I don't know how it wouldn't have been.
All right. I mean, I don't remember.
I don't know. We suck. We're failures. It's like every time we do this, I'm like, I don't know what we're doing. Who
I don't
cares?
remember how this was anyway.
There's just enough people that write to me and are like, don't stop doing it. It's the best.
I know,
and I'm like,
really
okay, I
makes
guess
you
I'll do it. Jesus. I'm in all grade. I have literally sauce on my dick.
You're George Costanza, decompressing, decomposing.
I know, and you got your cool jacket that you found at a thrift store for $8.
I'm gonna wear a pinstripe suit tonight. But
you got spots tonight?
No, I took off / didn't get booked.
I'm on buddy system. I got to go to the cellar tonight. Whenever I have to go to the cellar, I just have like a pit of anxiety. I hate the neighborhood.
Well, did you get my text last night? I didn't mean to worry you.
Oh, Kooks in Astoria? Yeah.
We had a crazy. It's like the crazy people all in Manhattan, and Astoria is like this utopia. And then there was a crazy person, a tweaker, in the bodega. It's like in the zombie movie where you have the utopian island, and then you see a zombie suddenly get into there at the very end. It's like we're all our security's down. We're fucked.
You like Zombieland?
Yeah.
I like Zombieland too.
I thought it was pretty good.
I like Zombieland 2. 2,
yeah.
Zombieland 2.
I don't know. I think I saw the second one too.
I saw it with Steve and Caitlin in Burlington when I didn't really know them. Yeah, it was when I was like, I like these two, and now it's
of course it's faded. Wait, is that your favorite zombie movie?
I'm not a big zombie guy, so maybe. There's 28 Days Later, right? That's something.
Shaun of the Dead.
Shaun of the Dead. You know, I realized when I was watching War of the Worlds for a few minutes.
Yeah.
There's a whole slew of films like between 2000 and 2010 when I was just a drunk maniac, and I would go to the theater, watch it once with like a Captain Morgan handle up my ass. And then I watch it, I'm like, I kind of remember this.
It's a lost weekend. You honestly have a whole 7 years. You can probably just rewatch those movies. It was like you were cryogenically frozen or something.
Yeah, it's a good point, because I was watching War of the Worlds, and I'm like, I don't remember this, and nor do I care to remember this.
So my favorite zombie movie is the Brad Pitt movie.
Oh, yeah, X, Generation X.
World War Z?
World War Z, yes.
That's a good
I love
one.
that one.
That's a good one.
But that's a mess.
What?
That's a mess. Do you know the whole thing? It was supposed to be a series, and they were in production. They have a whole Wikipedia page on what a fuck-up that was.
Well, but to me, that's my favorite zombie movie because it's the only one where the zombies are quick. Every other one is just decomposing half of tards that are moving slowly, and it's like not a threat. But in that one, the zombies they're chasing after you.
Yeah, Brad Pitt's
all the other ones. Ugh.
I had one beef with it though. I think, but people have told me I'm an asshole. I'm just an asshole. Stop writing at me. I'm a cynical guy. I don't care for most films.
Well, he does survive a plane crash with us. It's not even a small plane. It's like a 747, and he just buckles his seatbelt tight and just kind of survives somehow.
You know what movie I loved? Speaking of which, The Gray with Liam Neeson.
I saw
that movie
Gray.
twice. I saw it twice in the theaters.
Great.
I'm a sucker for The Gray.
The Gray is great. I love The Gray. That's his best. That's his best, stupid action.
movie.
Yeah, that movie's awesome. Though there is a part in it where this guy's dying, and Liam Neeson he does this thing where he's like, "Look, you are about to die. This is it." And the guy just freaks out and then dies. And it's like he probably could have just lied to him at that point. Do you remember that? He's trying to be all honest. He's like, "You are gonna die in 3 seconds."
Oh right.
You know.
Yeah, I think it was just fun.
Yeah, but it's a good movie.
Fun. But I love that one. But World War Z, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah, Generation X, Y, Z. There's a thing where the zombies, they can't see you for some reason. If you stand still or something.
That's Jurassic Park.
No. There's a thing where they can't see him for some reason.
Yeah, okay.
Do you remember why?
Oh, maybe he has. It's like a potion he takes, and then
you do something, you drink something, or if you blow somebody.
It's an injection or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then this is my beef. They're all running around him. Why wouldn't they be running straight into him?
I don't remember.
It's a small thing, but I'm like, so he's invisible and he stands in the hallway invisible, and they just go shooting around him.
You think they'd bump into it, but not eat
Of course,
it.
if someone was invisible, you'd be slamming into them.
You wouldn't
be like,
yeah, that's a good
"Excuse me?"
point. You'd slam into him and be like, excuse me, whoever you are that I'm not for some reason wanting to eat. But you wouldn't, yeah.
And wouldn't you have to be naked too? Wouldn't they see the clothes floating?
Yeah. I don't know if it's an invisible thing. Is it invisible?
I think it's invisible. We'll have to look it up. Can we look that up? I'll look it up. I don't want to be Googling, but...
I feel like, by the way, just another... if you were, like, you know those Invisible Man movies?
Which ones?
Just anyone where someone's invisible.
Are you going to get me to say I'd like to be invisible because I rape people? I feel like you're going to be like, yeah, because invisible people can rape.
No, I was saying, I feel like if you're invisible, you would get run over by a car really quickly. You know what I mean?
I guess.
I feel like if you're invisible and cars really can't see you, you would just get run over. Cause like,
where? What are you talking about?
I mean, you just have to.
So how often are you walking in front of traffic where they slam on their brakes because they see you?
That's not what happens to you.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm on the sidewalk.
I don't
what
know.
What are you talking about?
You just there's so much of like walking around with a car where they just kind of like you don't even notice it, but walking a thing across the street, the car slows down. There's just little things that I feel like you get run over.
This is one of those things that's so New York City centric. The people in New York listening to this are like, oh yeah, he's got a point, but everyone else is like, what the fuck is this guy
Only
talking
in New
about?
York do like cars drive not respect the crosswalk sign
and like almost hit you. And
Yeah.
also only in New York are people just standing out in the street like doing this.
Yeah, that's true.
Like in regular towns, you just wait to cross the street.
That's
You don't
true.
even cross the street in regular towns. You're just a fat asshole that
Yeah.
walks to your car and drives to the mall.
In New York, cars will honk at you when it's your way to go just because you're going too slow.
Right.
So I guess that's like it. Like in other places, when that crosswalk's on, those cars are like people take a nap. They sit there. They don't like fuck with that.
Well, also, I want to add this. For some reason, Sarah has this. A lot of people have this. They act like they have less rights because they're not in a car. Mm-hmm. Like Sarah will just be like waiting, like, oh, you go. I'm like, no, it's our turn. They have a red light. She's like, I know, but they're in a car. But I'm like, he's one person. I'm one person.
Right.
He's in a vehicle. I'm not in a vehicle, but it's still my turn. We're in a crosswalk. Where I
She's
have a
probably
red
just
light.
afraid of dying.
Yeah, maybe. No, she says it. She literally says out loud, I feel like we have to stop for people because they have a car. Not stop. I'm telling it wrong. I'm making it seem like, oh, she doesn't want to walk in front of a car. I'm saying she just assumes they have the right of way.
Right.
Like the light is, they're turning right and we're crossing the street with the light. But she's like, no, they should go first because they're in a car. I'm like, no, we go first because it's our turn to go first.
But the problem is they also feel that way. So they start driving.
They feel that
towards
way
you.
because they're assholes who don't follow rules.
But yeah, it's World War Z, best zombie movie. The only one where they're quick. The other ones, it's like they're being chased by paraplegics. It's just like there's no suspense to it.
Right. World War Z, good. War of the Worlds. I'm the new Raanan. We were talking about watching these. We didn't definitively say.
So we're doing Tom Cruise, Spielberg, Minority Report. I didn't say we have to watch War of the Worlds. I watched it again. He watched a little, but we're mainly doing Minority Report and then War of the Worlds.
Yeah. Maybe we should. I feel like I'll talk more about War of the Worlds later. I'm 11 minutes in.
Let's talk Minority Report because that we both watched.
Sure.
And, I mean, I'm curious to know what you think because I love this movie in theaters. It was one of my favorites. It's this interesting Spielberg. Like Spielberg, his old movies are all feeling and suspense, and his later bullshit. Bridge of Spies, it's all ideas, But this movie is kind of an interesting middle ground where it does have interesting ideas, and yet the excitement of like a Raiders of the Lost Ark action movie, sci-fi. It's kind of a nice blend of the two. There is many issues I have with it, but I still love the movie on some note.
I'm excited to hear your issues with the movie. So these movies, I just struggle with. Like I watch this movie, I'm watching it. First of all, the style, that like blown out lighting and then like out of focus shit. This is just the gayest thing ever, but Tom Cruise with his hair that short, I'm like, Tom, come on.
You don't like it that short?
No, it's not. It doesn't look great. He's wearing a tank top at one point. He's dressed like Dane Cook at the end. He's got like a black sleeveless shirt. And I'm like, what are you doing?
You don't like the firm, like the crew cut kind of thing? I kind of find that
I don't like the crew cut. I like a little
Long
bit
hair?
of... War of the Worlds is much hotter. Top Gun is the hottest. That's all I ever want to talk about is Top Gun, by the way.
I don't know. I think he's hot as shit in this.
No, you're wrong.
Yeah. Well,
He's got his hair's too short. He looks like you.
Homosexuality is subjective. But
Yeah, I guess so.
Our repressed homosexuality is purely subjective, but yes.
But I just struggle with this film. I do like it. I do like it. The things are good. This kind of film. I'm watching it. I'm trying to watch. I'm trying to have my mind open mind. But robot CGI spiders crawling around. Yesterday, I watched whatever the fuck this movie's called, Retarded Report. And it's fun. Last night, I'm in the hotel. Lady Bird is on Showtime. I watch it for the 11th time. I'm sobbing. I'm enthralled. I'm enthralled. The mother's a cunt, but she's nice, and the dad is depressed, and he's running out of money, and she wants to go to college to get out of the town, but she doesn't appreciate how great the town is, and she wants to be cool, so she's alienating her uncool friend when she realizes this is like true love, what you have with this friend. And Timothée Chalamet's hilarious, and it's human. It's real. It's a real human thing. And then I go back. Today I had to finish this like blotted out, fucking blurry light dream sequence. I'm blind. There's mice. There's spaceships. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing with my life?
Okay, so I agree with you kind of, but it's not the genre that's the problem. It's really not. I think it's just the fact that the movie, even though it's a really cool idea and very well structured, is full of just filler dialogue. The whole bad dialogue, I forgot how much every scene is just full of just this vanilla tropes. It's just one trope after another, and it's also perfectly polished. Tom Cruise comes in, throws the ball, Colin Farrell catches it. They have it's so perfectly staged, and I do hate those parts in the movie because it's not necessary. They could have 12 Monkeys to me is a human movie that's also a cool sci-fi movie, but this is full of fucking cliches that I didn't notice or get annoyed by as much when I was younger.
This is lesser 12 Monkeys. This is 6 Monkeys.
It's
very similar to Monkeys. It's a couple monkeys.
Well, it's the opposite. 12 Monkeys is a sci-fi movie that's kind of about the opposite. It's about determinism and people not really having free will and everything being in a cycle, while this is literally about free will and how you can break the cycle. But they're very similar. The difference is 12 Monkeys has these weird, quirky characters that are actually kind of cool. This movie goes out of its way to have every side character be weird, but it's bad. It's bad, corny, cartoony weird, not good Terry Gilliam weird, if that makes sense.
It does make sense, and the jokes are just horrendous.
The jokes are bad.
Horrendous. It's the yoga thing, when he falls through the window and ends up in a yoga pose, and he's like, oh,
that's so. And it's also not only the bad, it's unnecessary. I'm this is such an exciting part.
Yes.
Why are you ruining it with this bullshit? It's because that's the thing. The movie should have not tried to be weird or funny. It should have just been straight because it is an exciting fucking movie and the action sequences are incredible. But I'm watching the fucking yoga thing. I'm like, why are you doing this?
It's horrendous. It almost looks like a deleted scene. I was like, did I get the extended version?
I know. It's deleted comedic scenes. It's for some reason Spielberg was like, I'm going to be funny. And everyone's like, don't do that. You did that with 1941. The John Candy movie was a terrible idea. He's like, no, I think I can do it this time. And
John Belushi,
whatever.
But this is what John Candy would have been great, even though you think John Candy sucks.
They both suck.
John Candy better than Belushi, by the way.
Oh, 100%. John Belushi.
Great. Well, you agree there. All right.
I don't like John Belushi at all.
Then why do you look exactly like him?
I should be remembered more than him.
No, but that part, when Spielberg misses with that stuff, it's hard. It's hard to believe. There's so many Spielberg movies. It's hard to believe he made Jaws and Raiders of the Lost Ark and Schindler's List.
I say that every time I watch Jaws, I'm like, how is this movie so human?
Because he's young. He's 25. He was hungry.
He got caught in that 70s, Jaws had the cool naturalism acting. But in this movie, there's every moment is a fucking trope. And I don't want to be too negative because I think there's great things in this movie. I think it's very unique to have a sci-fi movie also be a murder mystery in this cool film noir way. I mean, it is completely The Fugitive. We've talked about this before. It is The Fugitive basically redone as a sci-fi movie.
A little bit. Have we talked about that?
I talked about it when we saw
talked about the movie, but
you
talk about this movie, and I just go, "Oh my god, that's a great point."
So basically, like The Fugitive, he's on the run, and the one guy helping him,
like The Fugitive, he is a fugitive.
He is a fugitive. That's all I got. But no, it's he's on the
Fugitive. Fucking rules, by the way. That movie's incredible.
I actually think it's to the point. I mean, it's tropes for a bunch of movies, but I actually think it's to the point where the screenwriter of this watched The Fugitive and deliberately took it. Here's my evidence, okay?
I can't wait.
He's on the run, and the one guy trying to help him who's nice is the bad guy, Max von Sydow, right? Mm-hmm. And he's kind of in contact with him still, and Max von Sydow is trying to help him, much like The Fugitive.
Mm-hmm.
And then you actually have the exact same sequence when he hides out in the St. Patrick's Day in the green and they can't find him, is the exact same umbrella sequence.
The umbrella.
And then the whole ending, I mean, granted, this is a trope of movies, but it's the same ending where the bad guy's getting an award.
Right,
and he calls him out, and then they have a fight on the. Thank God they don't have the fugitive fighting like on the roof for like 20 minutes, but it's the exact same ending.
Yeah, very similar
What do you
ending.
think
Very
about
similar.
that?
Very good. I like this.
You like it?
I
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, The Fugitive is awesome. We should talk about The Fugitive. Such a great movie. One of the strangest Academy Award wins ever, though.
He is good.
He is good.
He's a lot better than.
Is he fucking Ray Fiennes?
No. And he's a lot better than Colin Farrell in this movie. Here's the thing.
Whoa,
You
this
liked
is
him?
interesting. I liked Farrell. I don't know Farrell that
He's
well.
not terrible, but
He's pretty good.
you know that immediately as an actor, he's like, I'm gonna chew gum. That's my choice. Like he
This is
definitely
funny
like,
'cause I was
I'm
watching-
gonna chew gum in each scene. They didn't give me much to work with.
But I think that's Spielberg's choice. I don't think that's his choice. I think that's Spielberg going, we're doing the Maltese Falcon, we're doing
Yeah.
fucking noir,
You think so?
and you're the fucking suit fast talking coming after the
Is
hero
there a gum
guy.
chewer in Maltese Falcon?
Well, I'm just saying that thing of like, hey, wise guy, hey, I'm coming after you. Like
No,
he's
no,
got
well,
that
that's-
like,
but
all
that's-
right, I'm the bad guy.
But that's definitely true. But he definitely added it by like going like he's chewing gum in every scene.
think he's good.
He's handing gum out. He's like this
he likes gum. Gumshoe. Gumshoe.
gum chew. That's a thing.
What is gumshoe? What does that mean?
Detective. Well, why?
I know what it means. I'm saying, what does it mean?
Well, you got gum on your shoe. You like it's like a mystery. How to get there? That's not the answer. I tried to improvise. You ever try to improvise an answer?
Of course, yeah. Have I? That's what I do on this podcast every time. I'm like, well, I think it was a little stoic for me.
Well, the other problem, maybe it's hard to say it's Colin Farrell. It's one of those things where it's like, why did the screenwriter, when there's such cool ideas, why did he have to make Colin Farrell so overtly like trying to get Tom Cruise? Like, why couldn't they make him just like?
Well, because they're throwing you off the scent. This is what Spielberg does. I think Spielberg a lot of the times comes from the 1940s, 50s movie where it's like that's the bad guy has a black hat on and the good guy has a white hat on.
Yeah,
he's
I know.
from that old school. Symbol where it's like we're throwing you off the scent. Here's the bad guy, but he's not the bad guy.
But at the same time,
this is the bad guy over here. We're hiding.
But
him.
at the same time, Minority Report is full of cool adult ideas about free will, about choice, about like
That
security,
stuff I love.
and that
It's-
stuff. So why do they have to like the fact that Colin Farrell in the very beginning is just like, remember when you had your son die, you fucking pussy? It's like there's no motivation for this. He's just it's like in Top Gun where they just have John Hamm be like bad for no reason. It's just like. It ruins it. Like, just keep it more real.
I know. I've been doing it as a bit. I'm like, every baseball game, sporting event I've ever been to, they announce some random veteran. He was in the Coast Guard for 2 years as a standing O.
Yeah.
And then Maverick's like the best fighter pilot for 35 years, and like, you piece of shit.
Fucking
Get the fuck
motherfucker,
out of here,
yeah.
you scumbag.
And it's okay that he wants the job, but like, just make. I don't know. It is very. It's a movie with adult themes, but cartoony details.
That's what I think Spielberg does a lot. I think he likes doing that.
Not always.
Not always. Did I say always? Obviously,
That's a Spielberg movie.
I named
That's hilarious.
Jaws.
That's a Spielberg movie.
Always is?
Yeah, that's a Richard. I was like, not always, but probably not always. That's a Richard Dreyfuss movie. He
No,
directed.
there's like, again, there's Raiders of the Lost Ark, and there's
just looking at
Jaws, and there's Schindler's List, and then there's Saving Private Ryan. But Saving Private Ryan has cheese, too.
No,
Saving Private Ryan does very similar things.
I mean, it's also just screenplays. It's just like the screenplay is full of just every line in it, like just everything. I mean,
Sounds like you hate this movie, man.
No, I love it too. Because let's talk about the opening. The opening is awesome. The murder. Now,
What's the
granted,
opening? I can't remember. It was 4 days ago.
Granted, the father is dressed like he's in Jumanji, and it's like a weird, like polished, like you forgot your glasses. It's like everything.
Oh yeah. That
everything-
guy had a sitcom. He was in a sitcom.
I know.
That guy. I forget his name.
Also, is the fake pedophile? That's not the Mind of a Married Man guy, is it? No.
the fake pedophile is Mike Binder.
That's what I said. Mind of a Married Man.
I don't know what that is. I don't know that.
TV show he created.
I didn't know that. I don't know that. Mind of a Married Man. I don't know Mike.
You don't
I
remember that
don't
from
watch sitcoms.
Lex, you remember that, right? From
No.
Showtime?
I never had Showtime. Again, it goes back to class. You had Showtime. You're trying to act like, we were this and that. Showtime? Are you kidding? My parents couldn't have Showtime. We did the click up and click down to watch some tits.
Right, I didn't know that was a big privileged position.
No, I don't know. He's the guy from the
Next
Comedy
you're gonna say you don't
Store.
have a second home.
He made the doc.
Yeah,
the
I know,
Comedy Store doc.
Yeah,
Okay, that's who I know him as. I didn't know the 90s Showtime sitcoms.
And a scab.
The sitcoms I knew were like Step by Step.
All right, you got cable. All right, fine.
Family Matters.
And a scab, famously.
He was a scab?
Well, during the...
He might listen to this, by the way. He's a fan.
Well, I mean, he knows he's a scab. I mean, that's even the book. You remember when they all quit going to the comedy store?
He's old enough to be in that?
Yeah, he was younger, but everyone quit going to the comedy store. They were boycotting because they weren't paying people, and he crossed the picket line.
Oh, what was he, 12? I thought he was like 53 years old.
Or wait, he might have been the guy who was mad at everyone for No. He was either did the thing I'm saying or was really against the thing I'm saying.
Well, I'll forgive him. Whatever. I don't know. I can move on with my life.
But he's great. But so... What were we saying? So
what a crazy role for a comic.
I know.
Isn't it crazy that every once in a while a stand-up comedian gets a role where you're like, he's the main, he's like wrestling with Tom Cruise?
I know.
They must have been at the store been like, that's just nuts. Are you kidding me? What's he like? And he's like, oh, he's
well, I fucking, what's it? Not Byron Allen. Byron Bowers, funny guy. I've met him a couple of times. He fucks Zoe Kravitz in a movie.
Which one?
Kimmy.
Kimmy?
It's a Steven Soderbergh. It's on HBO.
Probably on Showtime.
Well, now you're richer than me, so you won, okay?
Yeah, that's right.
You won. But I think the opening is exciting. But even that,
it's pretty fun. But here's the thing I didn't understand is why is he like, we don't know the address? Why don't they know the address? What happened there?
well, so
What is that? They're like, they know the future? They literally can read the future. They can show up and intervene, but he's like, which door is it?
It is weird
like,
that
what?
they're in 2060 and it's like spiders and holograms, but they can't do something that we could do on a phone in like a minute.
Also, he like at one point he throws the bum change. It's just like a regular quarter. It's like a 1978 quarter. And I'm like, you think in 2054 we're gonna have?
They're still doing the
quarters?
quarter? That's depressing. Yeah, no, it is. It is a little weird, and also they still have the thing where he jumps in and stops it right the second as it's about to happen, which is like, can't you just have it happen a couple seconds before? Do you have to do it like it's like that In Cold Blood thing where he's like, woo, with the rope. It's like, can't you ever have someone stop something just have it a couple beats before so you don't have to think it's all perfectly
like Back to the Future, which is my favorite movie of all time. When Marty's like, what am I doing? I have a time machine. 3 minutes ought to do it. I'll get back there. I'm like, why not give him 6 months? He's like, my friend gets shot tonight. Let me give myself 10 minutes.
No, it's insane.
To save him from terrorists.
Yeah, no, it's sometimes the time thing's a little too, but it's still a cool part. I will say it was. Oh yeah, it is funny the technology of the movie because it actually is just a movie about magic that they've hid in sci-fi because it's just guys who are psychics.
Yeah.
And then they try to explain it in the beginning like it's a scientific thing, but it's literally like a Harry Potter thing. They're like, they think of it, a ball comes out with the name of the killer. Like they try to explain it. It's like it's just like it's basically magical.
But that's what sci-fi is, the fiction. You have to suspend your disbelief. You have to just be like, okay, I can predict the future.
But like,
that's the whole. You could also do that with War of the Worlds. Like, they want us to believe just magically an alien gets into the ground.
Well,
yes, they do. They want you to believe that.
But the idea of those individuals just happen to be psychic, so there is some sense of like supernatural element to it. You know what I mean? Which isn't in War of the Worlds. You know,
that's supernatural, isn't it? Aliens?
No, that's technology. It's in the realm of technology. I mean, I guess in this movie they're technically saying there's a scientific basis for them being psychics, but it's still something a little more magical than most sci-fi movies. Aliens is just pure within the realm of our materialistic universe.
Do we need to end our friendship? Are the aliens real? Aliens are magic, right?
Aliens aren't magic. What do you mean? I'm sure aliens are real. How are they magic?
I don't know. They flew to Earth. They get inside the Earth. They blow up the Earth. That seems pretty magical.
No, that's just technology. But the Minority Report, they literally see into the future, which is like a
I guess so
supernatural thing.
But in the future, you could probably see in the future.
I
mean,
guess
the algorithm guesses what I'm gonna,
Which, by the way, this movie got right. The
algorithm stuff.
The specified advertising. I was like, ooh, very prescient.
By the way, there is one joke that works when he's at Old Navy or the Gap and he's walking behind the lady and he's holding the clothes up. That made me chuckle.
That was funny. The Yakamoto line's funny.
What's Yakamoto?
Well, he takes those other guys' eyes and they go, "Welcome, Yakamoto." He just.
Oh yeah, that's fun.
That's fun.
It's not really funny though. That didn't seem like a joke. It was just like that's who his eyes.
So
are.
wouldn't he have Japanese eyes then?
Oh. No, the eyes is the same.
What do you think? I'm crazy? You think I think the eyeballs are?
I don't know. You think I raped people when I was drinking? You fucking asshole!
Don't bring that up. We're gonna cut that out.
All right, please.
I make one joke. It's a fucking committee hearing. But wait. So
You always say, but wait. I'm like, I didn't even do anything. You're like, wait. I'm like, I'm just sitting here waiting for you asshole. You're reading off your script.
I got my notes.
I got notes too.
Well, get out your fucking notes. Oh, at one point they call Colin Farrell a twink. What are you?
Really?
They go that twink from FBI. Did twink mean something different back then, or were they calling him a hairless, young, skinny homosexual?
I don't know. Is it hairless?
Isn't it hairless?
Lex,
is it hairless?
I think it's petite. Is it hairless
Lex?
too?
I think it's been hairless.
Yeah.
Oh, no kidding.
I'm glad Lex is here, so you know.
I thought it was just petite.
No,
Are you
no.
gay?
Sure.
Is that what you're saying?
No, I mean you don't have to be gay to know a definition.
Oh, you said it. Hey, Lex. Like you're like
Well, I just assume.
And then you
people-
said I'm glad he's here, meaning like we can talk about gay people now.
No, I'm just glad a
Oh.
third person is because I'm typically right, and now I have someone to back me.
Oh, well, I'm not wrong. I didn't know the fucking definition. I didn't have Showtime, and I don't know twinks are hairless. But twinks can have hair on their head.
Well, yeah,
That's a
they don't have
shame.
alopecia. They're just they just like shave their chest and stuff.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. So if you have some chest hair, what if you're 5'4" and you weigh 115 pounds and you're a bottom, but you have some chest hair? You're not a twink?
I don't think you're Lex.
There's probably like a seal or something.
Yeah,
Okay.
sea lion.
The sea otter, I know that.
What's a sea otter mean?
I don't know, but Mateo, I know. I've talked to
Gays
Mateo.
have really fun names for stuff.
They do. I'm going to look up twink right now. Twink meaning. Twink membership. A sparkle or gleam in someone's eye. Oh, it's twinkle. What the fuck? You know what I want, phone. Twink meaning. Wait, this is dead air. Come on.
You know, am I supposed to
You
ignore it?
got lists. You're supposed to be
I've
reading
got-
your list while I'm doing this.
Well, let me ask you this.
Now come up Twinkie. What the fuck? Twink. Here it is. Late teens to 20s whose traits may slim to average physique, a youthful appearance that may belie belly, an older age, having little or no body hair. Little.
All right, little.
That's what I said.
Well, I mean, I think little would just have a head of hair.
Little or no body hair. So little body hair. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, yeah. I mean,
few
it's
hairs.
not like a hard, fast rule, you know. Yeah, but you know, you can't be like Robin Williams. You're not a twink if you or like me.
No, he's a bear.
He's a bear.
You're a bear too.
I'm a bear. Does bear mean fat?
Big and fat, like you.
Robin Williams is not fat, is he? He's a little
I don't
chubby.
know. I think that's what might be what a sea otter is.
I'm a sea otter.
I don't know about you.
I wish, you know, I kind of wish I was gay because fat people in the gay community are respected. They're bears. They're grizzly bears. Like gay people love, but in the straight community, fat people are just like, I don't want to fuck you. That's what fat people are. But the gay community loves them. I should switch sides.
Yeah, well, gays, they got it made in the shade with the A is the grade. I mean, I know a guy, he's like, I've had like 650 partners. He's
I
like
know.
23 years old.
And you can just
I'm like,
date.
what?
You can just date young, and no one calls you a creep.
Right.
You know, you date anyone below 25. Some woman's just like, you're a monster. Like, am I a monster, or are you just getting old? You know.
Right. Yeah, they got it good.
But anyway, so.
They made a good choice.
But yeah, so what did you like about them? Because I do think the movie has interesting ideas. I think it's exciting. I think the action sequences are great. And I think there's some really powerful moments. Like when he breaks free of Samantha Morton, she's incredible.
Who's Samantha Morton?
The female precog.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
She
she's
steals
good.
the
She looks
show.
like River Phoenix in Stand By Me at
Yeah.
one point. She got her head shaved, the white T-shirt.
But she's amazing. She steals the show, and the
I don't know
scene.
if she stole the show.
I think she stole the show. And
The show wasn't stolen.
She stole it, baby. It was
no
a
steal.
heist. And she, the scene where he goes to kill whatever, Jim Brewer or whatever, that scene is like,
It's good.
That scene's amazing.
It's good. I like it. She's good. It's good. It's hard. Like I said, it's an effort for me. It's like Soprano. I don't like the medium. I don't like the kind of thing it is. I'm not into TV drama. I'm not into action, sci-fi, whatever the fuck.
I thought you
this
do
is.
like sci-fi. You don't like sci-fi?
No. Why do I like sci-fi?
2001?
I like it. I don't love it.
Oh, okay.
I like it. I think it's great. It's a great accomplishment, but it's not like no one's watching. There's really no Kubrick movie that's like super rewatchable, other than Full Metal Jacket to me. Like a Clockwork Orange, you can't be like, I watch it twice a week.
I mean, if you do, you have a problem.
You have a problem, yeah.
You are.
I mean, like Barry Lyndon, no one's like, every single year on the 4th of July.
I can't watch that once.
I watch Barry Lyndon. I mean, the older ones, of course. The Killing you can watch over and over again, I guess.
I like sci-fi. I think it's cool. I mean, look, he can have both. I mean, yeah, I like the human drama too, but like, you know what I mean? There's things that the Ladybird's fun and shit, but you know, you're not having a scene where he's like being chased by, you know, those.
Nor do I want that. And that's the other thing too. That's hard for me is the tech, whatever you call it, the fucking the stunts, the whatever. Like when he's jumping off the cars, I'm like, it's a cartoon. I can see Tom Cruise is on a green screen jumping off the thing. It takes me out of it.
I really love that part because I think it's exciting that he's the murderer, and I think that whole sequence is great when he's like, you find out he's the murderer or he's framed, because to have these kind of old school film noir shit and have it in a sci-fi movie is unique. And to have it with this Philip K. Dick philosophy about free will, and on top of that, it's not just a dumb action movie.
Well,
there
now
are
you're off
smart
on another
ideas.
topic. I do like the free will stuff. I like the philosophical stuff. That's you asked me about 25 minutes ago what I like, and then you went off on this shit.
I'm not off in the sense that I actually think the uniqueness of having action sequences interwoven into something with philosophical ideas is a cool, unique thing. And makes sci-fi movies the good ones.
But there's some action I like that you don't like. French Connection, Blues Brothers. I mean, these are two things that I just absolutely love and can watch over and over again.
But
They're
I mean,
fun.
I think when he's running away and then he's like, everybody runs, I think that shit's really cool. And I mean, I thought you didn't think the spider sequence was cool?
No, it's fine. Can I talk? I mean, can I get a couple words in? I feel like it's like a 90-10 today.
All right,
and you're going to hear about it in the comments. I'll tell you. Hit them, folks. Get this piece of shit. No, the spider thing is fun. It's compelling filmmaking. But for me, what's hard for me, this is what I'm saying, it's hard. It's an effort. I do enjoy it. It was good. But it's an effort to watch little CGI like boop, 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 boop. I'd rather watch French Connection. I'd rather watch a guy calling people the N-word and taking their drugs and searching a car. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want real. I like real. I like Lady Bird and I like Election. So it's an effort, but it is good. It's an accomplishment. I like the philosophical stuff. I like the free will stuff. That's really interesting. And those are the things I enjoy. But yeah, when he's blind and they're trying to get the warm bodies and he goes into the ice and the one little bubble comes up and the spider comes out, it's fun. It's compelling.
Though, once again, even in that sequence, they have stupid jokes that I hate. Just like them, that couple fighting and then stopping when, I don't know. I just, like, you just don't need, you know what it is? The jokes kind of deflate the suspense.
Well, sometimes Spielberg is too fun.
Yeah, I know.
Sometimes he's too much like the magic of cinema, the popcorn. Let's make it fun. And I didn't want fun.
Go dark. Yeah,
yes.
Like it's all right. First of all, and that's the other thing. It's actually a very dark movie. His son was fucking murdered and kidnapped, and his anger is being exploited to have this like, you know, justice system that's like very corrupt. I mean, there is like really dark shit in it, but then they just have stupid little jokes that I feel like deflate the tension quite a bit. It's like, you know what? You're right. It's the one time where I don't like levity. You didn't need the levity.
You don't need the levity.
Usually I think you need levity. This, you didn't need it.
And the chasing is levity to me. Like Tom Cruise, like,
right.
It's like, wow, that's funny. He's got blades and he's running.
You don't
need
him.
Top.
Yeah, and you don't need him in fucking yoga. You know, that kind of stupid shit.
It's terrible.
It's just dumb, and it made me wish that he had Terry Gilliam added some real weirdness to it as opposed to like fake weirdness.
That's something this movie did. It made me want to watch 12 Monkeys.
I know.
I was like, let me get 12 Monkeys on. It's so similar.
It's such a superior movie. But I do think and also, I mean, we got the every side character is like campy, but in a bad way. But it's so over the top. Peter Stormare, the blind guy with the glasses.
He's way over the top.
It's too much.
By the way, Roger Ebert called this movie a masterpiece. It has 90% Rotten Tomato. People fucking love this movie.
I mean, it is really impressive to have, kind of like Christopher Nolan movies, really impressive to have this really epic sci-fi movie also bring up cool ideas. That is like an impressive feat when you look at other movies of that caliber that are usually not that intelligent, you know? And
impressive feat, my favorite porn category.
And the scene where he goes to kill him and he has a choice and he makes a choice is moving and powerful. Right. And Samantha Morton, her fear of violence and her kind of conscience is like, I mean, I find that whole sequence so powerful. You know, and her going, you have a choice, and him actually choosing something. That's a powerful moment.
Yeah, no, that stuff, the philosophy is all great, and the fun. But I don't know. Just the reveal stuff doesn't work for me as it does in a real movie. The thing of like, wait, he set him up, and then any movie where they have to like really explain at the end is always a bit of a disappointment.
Yeah.
The thing of like, you did this and then you did that, and we're really cleaning it home for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, because he's also just telling it to him, and you see Max von Sydow would like interrupt him, like, yeah, I know what I did.
Right. Some good jump scares in this movie. We love jump scares.
Oh, the hand coming out.
Yeah, when she jumps and grabs him, that's fun.
I will say this though. I mean, the kid being kidnapped is very powerful, but how the hell was he kidnapped that quickly? I mean, it's like that Sam Morril joke where it's like, you got to give it up to that kidnapper. Like, he goes in the water, and the kid, it literally had to be that killer had to like walk up and be like, come with me, and he's like, okay, and he just like leaves.
And he ran full speed. He ran like Cruise. Like
yeah, like,
Blades,
it seemed like the kid wanted to get out of there. Like how, like he's underwater for like 5 seconds. He goes up, the kid's gone. It's like crowded there.
But once again, it made me want to watch when those moments. That scene is compelling. I want to watch a movie about a kid being taken.
Okay.
Like Room. When you watch Room,
Yeah.
which is just so enthralling, you're like, it's the most visceral reaction I've ever had to a movie where they're trying to escape. Like that part, I'm like, can we cut all the future horseshit and just get me into the zone where Tom Cruise comes out of the pool and he's like, did anybody see my kid?
Yeah,
my kid's gone.
it did-
that I'm like, that's a film I want to watch.
Well, as I watched, I was like, I remember thinking, God, The Vanishing is so good. I want to put that on.
Exactly. The Vanishing, that I like. I don't need a spaceship and a laser and a bullshit. Give me The Vanishing. Where the fuck is my wife? And he's waiting and writing a note and leaving on the hood. You know what I mean? That's a fucking great film.
I guess I like both, and I do like a movie like Spielberg. There's always escapism in Spielberg, but he does it the best, and there is a power of cinema where you watch this movie and you're like, this is a fucking exciting. When it's good, you're like, this movie is exciting, and I feel like I'm also. The other thing is, by the end, I was like, I feel like I just watched a fucking movie. You know what I mean? I feel like movies these days, they're all just like a poor person taking a shit in the desert for 2 hours. It's like
it's that, or like all spaceships flying around.
It's like there's no in between like this anymore.
Well, there is starting July 1st, 4th of July, folks. Vic Theater. By the way, still tickets available for Vic Theater July 2nd and Schubert Theater July 1st.
Jurassic Park Dominion. Go see it.
Check those out. What's up with Tim Blake Nelson in this movie? What's going on with him?
He's also bad. They're all bad. Like
what is he doing? Why is he that? What is he supposed to be?
I don't know.
Do you have any idea?
Nah, did Spielberg...
He's like, well, you don't know about that, do you?
Did Spielberg just come up to everyone and be like, just fucking ham it up?
Just go crazy. Just be a goof.
And
Weird.
the eye shit is so stupid when she puts the eye on the piano key and it like, boom. It's like, what are you...
know.
This is a cool movie. Why are you fucking it up with weird macabre shit?
Because it's the Spielbergianism that he does later in his career. I got an itchy nose. I'm all goat.
Yeah, me too.
I think it reminds me. I always think about the beginning of Manhattan, another great film that I love. Is when he's writing and he's like, oh, I want to sell some books here. Let's be honest. I think it's like that. I think they have a good script, a good philosophical script, and they're like, come on, we want to sell some tickets. Let's put in a couple spiders and an alien and a fucking...
Well, I mean, once again, I think all that shit is fine. To me, the issue is the human part is just goofy. Like, if the human part was better, which you can do, you can have the spiders in the action sequences, and also have, instead of Tim Blake Nelson, a regular person at that
but
job.
They don't think that. That's for us. For the average asshole sitting at home with a giant bag of Skittles, they're like, look at he's crazy.
Yeah.
They can't just have a fucking Sam Harris podcast in the middle of it being like, what are we talking about here?
You just have to go a second rewrite, just because, like, every weird character has like a phrase they tell Tom Cruise. It's bad. He's just
I agree.
Easy, Chief. If you go looking around, you could get dirty. And then the blind guy was the king. He takes off the glasses perfectly at the right moment. This is the kind of movie where they spoof on 30 Rock, where someone is like watching a painting and someone comes in and he starts talking to him without looking. You know, it's full of those.
Right.
Literally to the point where one point, Colin Farrell breaks into Tom Cruise's place, finds the drugs, and then opens that footage of his kid and literally says to the footage of his kid, Shaun, I got your father now. I'm like,
I know.
Imagine someone actually doing that in real life. You'd be an insane person. You're having
it's
a
not
scene.
real life. That's what it is. We're not watching The French Connection. We're watching the fucking silly report.
But you could.
It's fucking space aliens coming from the future.
But there are sci-fi movies that can do both. And 12 Monkeys does both. You can't 12 Monkeys has normal stuff in it.
Just like cut right now to Brad Pitt being like, fuck the bozos. Fuck.
Yes.
I mean, like-
but Bruce Willis and Madeline Stowe have like adult conversations in the car.
Right.
You know
but
what I mean?
they do throw in, like I talked about it when we talked about that. Like Bruce Willis is drooling and shit, and there is
but
like
that's but there's not like every trope. Like this is the kind of thing too. Like when he sees his wife at the end, and she's like, just in terms of filler dialogue, movies need to stop doing this. He literally brings up a memory that's the most vague memory. He goes, "Remember when I used to read Tom Sawyer to Shaun?" And then she laughs. She's like, it's like the laughing about a fake memory. It's
and
like
it's all like blown out
I know,
too. I don't get the blowout.
It's very
not
high
focused,
exposure. Yeah,
fucking weird thing.
But there is a scene they stole a scene directly from LA Confidential.
What is it?
You want to go? I thought we'd have a fun little trivia moment. No,
I don't know, just tell me.
you're really in a mood today.
I'm not in a mood. I'm like, just you have it in your mind. I gotta sit here and go, oh god, I can't remember.
All right, the scene where Max von Sydow kills Colin Farrell is literally the Kevin Spacey scene.
Oh yeah.
Kevin Spacey comes to him and figures it all out, and then the guy shoots him. The only difference is the LA Confidential scene is amazing, and you really don't see it coming. You know Max von Sydow's the bad guy from the opening shot of Max von Sydow. You're like, it's just like so obvious.
But then it doesn't throw you off the scent how bad guy Colin Farrell is. But maybe that throws you to the scent because that happens in so many movies where it's like this is so obviously the bad guy.
I guess it's hard.
There's a lot of plot twists in this.
There is. I guess it's hard to say because I guess when I watched in theaters, I probably didn't fully realize it. But I was also like young. I feel like if I saw this movie now, I'd be like Max von Sydow is definitely the bad guy. There's just like
Is it Sweeto or Cedo? Sweet?
Sweeto.
W?
Max von Sydow.
I thought it was SYDOW.
S-Y. Sweet. What do you think it is?
Cedo. Sido?
Max von Sydow.
Swee?
Lex,
Is it
look it up.
Swee? It's SY. Does that make a Swee?
It is funny to
I
think
thought it was like Cedo.
Spielberg came up to him and was like, all right, just look like you're really evil right here. And meanwhile, like 20 years ago, Ingmar Bergman came up to him and be like, think about the fear of oblivion and how that's taken away meaning from your life.
I know. He must be like, okay, I guess.
But also his name's Lamar, which is that a black name?
Gee, you can't say that.
His name's like Lamar Jackson. It's just
Yeah, I don't know. By the way, some of the music is silly too. There's times where I'm like, is this John Williams? It's not great.
it's always he's not gonna not get JW.
I mean, maybe he was busy because it sounds like Hook at some points. It's like,
I wonder if you think there's times where he didn't get JW?
I think so. I mean, let me look this up. Everyone get on our phones. Let's get it going here.
I wonder could there? Well, maybe Lex can look that up. Is there ask
Yeah,
Max von
Cedo.
Sydow?
No, Cedo. That's what I said.
You didn't say the V at the end. Sidov.
No,
W is pronounced like a half V, German. Zido.
but it is Cedo, not Sweeto.
I guess you're right.
Yeah, you're
all right.
fucking right. I'm right.
Ask if there's any movie where John Williams didn't do the score because I feel like John Williams.
So you're confirming for sure he did it in this movie?
I assume. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
John Williams, he did it.
I think he's done everyone. At
He
this
did
point,
it.
if he didn't get John Williams, I think would be insulted.
But maybe he's busy, fuckhead.
I don't think
John Williams is working.
You don't get busy for Spielberg.
I don't know. Some of his movies suck.
All right. Well, let's.
I'm looking it up.
Exception.
Don't say it. Don't say it. Let's get.
No, Color Purple.
Well,
that's
let's guess
one.
The other two.
He didn't do Jaws, and he didn't do Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah. All right. Color Purple. I'm gonna guess. Maybe Amistad. Maybe it's all his black movies.
Oh yeah, Amistad. I don't think Amistad. Amistad. He did.
Always.
I can tell.
1941. 1941.
I said it first. He did that one.
Bridge of Spies. Bridge of Spies.
Bridge of Spies. That's the worst one. That is the worst
Maybe
one.
John Williams was like, I can't do
Hook.
this.
Did he do Hook?
He definitely did Hook.
Yeah, he did a
Okay. All right. I'm just trying to name Spielberg movies. Bridge of Spies is the shittiest
So
one.
what? So was Bridge of Spies?
Saving Private Ryan. He did.
It's not on your radar.
All right. I got to take off my radar.
Especially you.
My gaydar.
Especially you.
Oh, so it's some kind of sci-fi horse shit?
AI. No. Wait.
What other alien horse shit did he do?
not like-
did he Close Encounters?
Newer.
Newer. Oh, Warhorse.
Warhorse. What the fuck?
Oh,
is
Ready
that?
Player One.
Oh wow. Okay.
I think those are also like his worst movies. I think John Williams was like, yeah, I
But
think
this
John
one-
Williams was like, I can't do it, buddy.
There is one chase scene where it's really like dun 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 dun.
And that was good. It's very Jurassic Parky at times too.
Yeah.
But anyway, I still like the movie. It's a movie. I mean, they could have taken away some of the tropes and made it a little more nuanced, but it's still a cool ass movie and cool ideas and powerful and moving.
Why isn't he as great in the? I think Tom Cruise is like. There's times where I'm watching him in these movies where I'm like, oh, God, maybe it's the script or just movies I hate where he's like, no, what? Ah! And I watch him in like Rain Man and Risky Business, and he's pitch perfect. I think it's just the kind of movies. Ultimately, anyways, to sum up in conclusion, I did like this movie.
Yeah.
It is very entertaining, and I really like the philosophical stuff of free will and all that stuff, and you know, surveillance and crime and the police and all that shit. That stuff is fun, and there's some fun stuff that's compelling. But I struggle with CGI action future shit. I really would rather watch Lady Bird again.
Right.
And again. I'd rather watch Lady Bird twice today than Minority Report again tomorrow.
Well, let's talk. I mean, you didn't finish it, but I do have to say, like, I think War of the Worlds, the first hour and 50 minutes, is some of the best Spielberg shit he's ever done.
By the way, how do you make a movie called War of the Worlds and have it be 2 hours long? Doesn't that feel weird?
You mean it should be longer?
It should be like 8 hours long. Like the worlds are going to war, and I'm watching them like a half hour in. We don't even know what it is. They're going to summarize this in the next
True.
90 minutes?
It's also like, but I think the book is kind of short too. But it's also like War of the Worlds. I guess it's 2 worlds.
Well, so is your dick, but I don't like
Ooh.
reading that.
But I do want to say I think this movie is slept on. I rewatched it with Jordan in Vegas. Granted, I had a gun in my mouth that whole week, but this movie captures the existential terror of drone strikes and 9/11, and it's really powerful. And it takes you to the abyss. It's a great movie. It falls apart, but the first hour and 15 is some of the best Spielberg work he's ever done. And it's the last time I know you only saw it for 20, but it's the last time he really had that Spielberg ability to build suspense in this escalating, terrifying way. And ever since then, he's just made movies about newspapers and Lincoln's secretary or whatever.
I forgot that
But like,
newspaper movie. God, that was garbage.
I mean, his movies now aren't like terrible, but they're just like bringing up ideas, but without the excitement. That was the last movie he did that was like really had that Spielberg excitement.
But that movie too has that like crazy CGI where like the ground's shaking and it just looks weird. It is fascinating. I was thinking about that this is in the shadow of 9/11 with the smoke and the stuff coming out of the sky.
It's deliberate.
Of course it's deliberate.
Oh, sorry.
I'm just saying, like it adds to. I didn't think they forgot about 9/11 when they had fucking terror from the sky happening in New York. And she keeps being like, "Is this terrorists?" I wasn't like, "Whoa, did they know?"
Doesn't that make it scary?
It does make it scary. But he has that crazy blown out of focus. Like it's like hurts my eyes to look at it. I'm like, I don't know what they're doing there.
I know, but I there is blown outness, and obviously it's like, you know, he has the son who's pouty. It has all the tropes, but I mean, like, I just think it's terrifying. I think the wind moment is scary, and the suspense and the tension, and then like when they first attack, when the people start getting dissolved,
Yeah.
that's terrifying. They're getting what's it called? Where you're like
Disintegrated?
disintegrated. It's like.
Disingenuous?
It's terrifying. It's like, you know.
I guess. I mean, terrifying.
I think the movie uses that 9/11 imagery to make like something like that really is like, once again, it's impressive, like Minority Report in a different way. It's this big,
Is it
silly
terrifying?
action movie.
Are you terrified? Like,
Yeah.
to me, like, The Vanishing or Silence of the Lambs is like terrifying. Or Room. To me, it's like a big fucking thing that looks like Star Wars shooting and the guy just evaporates with CGI is terrifying.
You got to take a leap and think about it in relation to like.
I have to take a leap and think about aliens and evaporation.
But there is real shit going on about feelings and imagery from real life. It's just like done through the guise of an alien movie. Yeah, which is obviously silly, but that's what's interesting is that like, and as you watch a movie further on, like, you have images of like missing pictures on walls, kind of like 9/11 and
Right.
smoke, and he's covered in smoke, and using this imagery from modern images that
It's
we're all.
a 9/11 movie.
It's a 9/11 movie. I think
Accidentally.
But
the way he's covered in soot and powder after the attack, 3 years after 9/11.
But
I think that was a mistake.
I find that stuff effective. I find that very effective.
Yeah, it's fun, I guess. It's
and I think it
the
is
CGI
disturbing.
aliens.
I think it's
Whoa,
disturbing.
the aliens are going to
And
get us.
if you watch more of it, like there gets to parts that are like, there's a part where he goes on a ship that is really quite terrifying, where like they're not letting everyone on board. It's this drastic kind of society falling apart. He manages to get on board. They finally leave because there's one in the distance, and then one comes out of the ocean and knocks the whole boat over, and it creates a sense of helplessness that real existential terror that it might not, the ideas of the movie are silly, but the feeling of existential terror is perfectly captured in a way that's like amazing. And I've never seen done exactly that way.
What about Captain Phillips? That's terrifying.
I mean, Captain Phillips is great
That's
too.
a great movie. Did you ever watch the Swedish? There's like a Swedish pirate movie too. That's great. They're never on the ship though.
I don't know.
The
that
movie doesn't take place. They're both really interesting ways.
You just don't love Spielberg. Besides the two movies you love more than anything.
Well, yeah, Jaws and Schindler's List are two of the best movies. Two of my favorite movies of all time. And Saving Private Ryan, there's a lot I love in there. A lot of silly.
But Saving Private
Raiders of
Ryan,
the Lost Ark is fun. But yeah, Jaws and Schindler's List are so real. They're so grounded and real.
What about E.T.?
E.T. I love.
E.T.'s great.
I love. Yeah, I love it. I mean, it makes you like. It feels like a lot of stuff he's trying to recreate. E.T. that feel. First of all, this guy loves a broken home more than anybody loves a broken home.
Yeah,
he's exclusively broken home. But E.T. is that popcorn turn you into a child thing that I think he tries to sandwich into Minority Report, of make everyone a big crazy character, and it doesn't work in E.T. It works. I mean, it doesn't work in Minority Report. It works in E.T. and Raiders of the Lost Ark, and it doesn't work.
Well,
in
E.T. also, once again, kind of like Jaws, had like grounded acting. Like the mother is like seems pretty overwhelmed, and like I don't know, like he had, you know what it is? He had a sense of like how he really was good with actors for a long time, and then he kind of seemed to like lose it in like.
Well, and so much of this is script too.
Yeah, it's script too. It is script. He doesn't have a good ear. I think he may have just accidentally fallen into some good dialogue back in the day, but
that's amazing. A bad script can make great actors look bad.
Yes.
And vice versa. There's bad actors who are amazing in really well-written movies and vice versa.
But it's a shame because Minority Report is actually like really well-structured and cool. Like it's not a bad, it's like the dialogue is bad, but the script beats of the script are great. It just needed a punch-up guy.
Right.
To like fucking put some human shit in it instead of weird cartoony fucking shit.
Or punch down guy.
Punch down guy, yeah.
Yoga.
But yeah, I still love Spielberg, and I still think War of the World and Minority Report. War of the World, I think, is much better, actually, and still really, I do think Spielberg, kind of like Pixar, will take you to the abyss and then slap a happy ending on it, but you still went to the abyss. And if you watch more War of the World, you see society break down very quickly, and you see a sense of, like, despondency that's, like, quite captivating.
It's not that I don't like Spielberg. It's that I don't like sci-fi action shit.
Right.
And he makes a lot of that.
He does make a lot of
I like human. I like human beings. It's like I always talk about. I like a thing where it's like the guy wants to fuck the neighbor and the wife wants to fuck his uncle, and then their kid is on drugs. I'm like, give me that. I like that.
Right.
I like Woody and I like Scorsese. I like a real grounded, gristly fucking thing. By the way, I watched Lady Bird last night and I'm like, I think I made this, but not as good. 4th of July.
4th of July?
I think I made lesser. I think I just made lesser Lady Bird.
So they were wrong about Shiva Baby. It was Lady Bird.
Yeah, but I wasn't consciously thinking about Lady Bird. Then I'm watching it and I'm like, oh shit.
Don't you think it is silly though when she gets thrown out of the car at the beginning and she jumps out and then she just has a cast? I feel like
it's silly. You could break your wrist. I mean, that stuff. It's silly and it's a big punchy joke. There's a couple of silly things. The worst part like that is the football coach teaching the play, the people, the what do you call it, theater. That is the most misguided, like, you need to cut this out, but it made it in.
Wait, you're talking about the light-skinned black guy?
No, he's depressed, so he can't coach. So he can't do the fucking theater. So they get the junior varsity football coach, and he's literally like draws X's and O's, and he's like, "All right, you're number one. You're gonna throw a block. You're going in." It's a sketch. It's like a bad SNL sketch in the thing. And then when they pull off the play, he's like, "Yeah."
I forgot
and it's
that
like,
part.
oh fuck, it's so bad. But Greta Gerwig is one of the great
She
American
is great.
artist.
But
think.
I do think if that girl actually, even if she just got a broken wrist, if she jumped out of the car like that, they would put her in a mental institution for a little bit just to check on her. You want to just go to school the next day.
Yeah, I guess so. It's a little over the top. I mean, there's a couple jokes that are too big, and that happens. Noah Baumbach does that a lot.
But
too.
I will say that, I mean, maybe I've said this before, that priest, or is he a priest or?
I think he's a father or something.
That guy is like such an interesting character. I really just wanted way more of him in the movie. I thought
he's beautiful. It's beautiful.
It's incredible. He has like 3 very small scenes that are all incredible. But I mean, the most is when the people leave the play not liking it, and him just be like, he didn't get. They didn't get it. I mean, it's just like I want to see a movie about that guy.
He's great, and Tracy Letts is amazing. He's always great,
Tracy
and he's
Letts.
so compelling in that movie.
I just saw Tracy Letts play. He was in it.
I
Starring
know. I heard. He's very compelling. He's a beautiful man.
So
let's wrap it up.
Let's wrap it up. But maybe we'll talk about Massing afterwards.
All right, we'll talk
let's
about
wrap it
Mass
up
for
first.
6 minutes.
Yeah, let's wrap it up first.
We got to wrap it up. Big
up.
stuff coming up this weekend. I'm at the Punchline. Come Friday, Saturday. Norman's at the theater. This fucking pimple is doing a theater in the town I've had booked. Well, what can you do? But yeah, maybe I'll win the face-off. Maybe a couple will go see me because his is sold out and there's plenty of tickets for mine. Punchline Atlanta Friday, Saturday. And next week is the big week. I hope I don't get COVID. June 30th at Beacon. There's about 40 tickets left for that. So glad you're missing it. July 1st. Your name's in the credits.
I know.
We talked about it. July 1st. Schubert Theater in Boston, July 2nd, Vic Theater in Chicago, and then July 6th, we're playing at a bunch of AMCs all over the country.
Oh, really?
7:30 p.m. Yeah, a ton of
great.
them. Yeah, so go sell those out, for God's sakes. Get me on Fandango. Go to fandango.com or the Fandango app to go see 4th of July. Support the goddamn show, for Christ's sake. Toronto, Paradise Theater, July 29th.
Watch his movie, man. You got a choice.
Patreon.
When you go to the theater, you got a choice between dinosaurs and human beings. Pick human beings.
Lady Bird 2. And join the Patreon. We've done a couple Patreons. We're about to do another one.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Hot stuff. Hottest Patreon in town.
We say some shit on the Patreon that is
you can join for the price of a cup of coffee. I hear a lot of podcasts do that.
Yeah, not anymore. Price of a cup of coffee.
Well, that's what it is. Yeah, the Patreon's $9 a month.
$25 a month. Jesus. But all right, yeah, and
you say REI?
My movie doesn't come out till next year, but let's see. You can see me Louisville. I'm coming back to my hometown next week, Thursday through Sunday.
How often do you do Louisville? Every gig is in Louisville.
There are a lot.
It's like every 3 gigs is Louisville.
But this is a new club, the Louisville Comedy Club. Get tickets. It's on it's on my Instagram. Get tickets. It's going to be great. Or go to LouisvilleComedyClub.com. It's going to be great. Got Mandy McKelvey opening. Come out to that. And then, I have other weekends: Key West, Oklahoma City, Richmond, Virginia, Spokane, Tacoma, Toronto, and Tulsa. Are you doing the Toronto Comedy Club? Have you done that?
No, I'm doing Paradise.
Oh, okay.
It's like a rock club, I think.
But come out and go to our Patreon. A lot of great stuff. We're going to talk about Mass in a second.
Massachusetts.
Cut.
Joe likes Scorsese, and Raanan is Jewy. It's Joe and Raanan talk movies.